asked me 10 minutes ago if he can paint his face before we go live.
As an update to one of our earlier stories, the family of the young Kansas City Chiefs fan who got shamed by Deadspin has hired an attorney and they're gonna sue.
Deadspin is what happens when journalism becomes too cowardly to confront the woke when it enters your industry. Sports journalism has been plagued by this. I mean, look at some of the great institutions, ESPN, Sports Illustrated. They're now all woke zombies because they let it in, they let it take over because they were scared. Instead of saying to the woke, get lost, they open the doors, and now you have this kind of crap, which, by the way, it's so obviously, like, wrong. I'm assuming they must have done it anyway because they knew that because Deadspin is dying, that this might be the only way that they can get clicks is by actually embarrassing themselves. But there is an assumption that as long as you are on the woke side of the political field, no one's going to bother to check because the media is on your side. So even if you misreport, no one's really going to call you out. In this case, they did because X, which is why the left hates Elon Musk, now has community notes. So the community notes called this out before it was amplified to the world, right? This guy should have said, he may not be wearing blackface, but somewhere someone is. And we're just raising awareness of half blackface. This is the new thing, half blackface.
To put the burden of racism and everything else on this kid is an outrage that goes so far on my spectrum that, as far as I'm concerned, it's the defamation spectrum. And I think that his parents should consider suing because, make no mistake, that kid knows that his photo is in newspapers, that we're talking about it on, we're the biggest watch show on all news cable. He's got to get some reward and some damage for this. There isn't a negative thought on this kid's mind. But what I want to know is, where's the NFL? Where are the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah.
You know what I want? I want Mahomes. I want Kelsey. I want them to say, you know what? You come in. We're going to give you season tickets. We love you. And stop with this nonsense with the headdress and all that. I'm tired of political correctness. I'm tired of people saying what I can and cannot do.
I mean, my kids get their faces painted at birthday parties. Is there a color scheme that we need to run by Male Karen before? I think Male Karen needs to leave this child alone and worry about his own children, if he has any. At least this little boy's dad's taking his son to a game and spending quality time together, which is a lot more than we can say about a lot of fathers in this country, whose faces are all types of colors.
Now let's talk about the little Kansas City Chiefs boy that, had the black and red face on, and they made a big stink about him with Deadspin. And they said the NFL should step in and chastise the boy because he dared paint his face and dared put on a headdress. Well, Deadspin, you might be screwed. Deadspin may go the way of Gawker with whatever, how that stuff happened with Hulk Hogan. Deadspin might be right behind him. I don't know if he's going to be able to collect much, but his family has now retained counsel, and they're gonna win. There's no way you can talk about somebody's child the way you did, a 9-year-old boy, and think you're gonna get away with it. So this story popped up today. It says, breaking, the parents of 9-year-old Holden Armenta are threatening to sue Deadspin for slandering their son by saying he wore blackface, which he did not. Shannon and Paul Armenta have hired Claire Locke LLP, demanding that they issue a retraction of the viral story. And they won't. They won't issue a retraction because once they issue a retraction, their monetary damages go up. So they're going to have to fight it. And it gets better. The family specifically wants to pursue legal action against the far-left reporter Karen Phillips for writing the story. He's done. He's absolutely done. He just bankrupted his entire family. By writing a stupid story like that, you don't have any immunity. You don't have anybody to protect you. Nobody at Deadspin is going to protect you personally. You wrote that story. You put your name on it. They are going to bankrupt you. Phillips accused Holden of being racist against black people and Native Americans by wearing a headdress as well as a red and black face paint at the Chiefs game. Quote, these articles post on X and photos about Holden and his parents must be retracted immediately. The letter from the family read, "It's not enough to quietly remove a tweet from X or disable the article from Deadspin's website. You must publish your retractions and issue an apology to my clients with the same prominence and fanfare with which you defamed him." And that's little Holden right there. That little 9-year-old boy just was out for a night with his family to see his favorite football team. And notice, look at the black players. The black players are chanting along with him. The black players are like, yeah, that's our boy, man. That's our boy. We're not offended. We're actually looking at him and doing the chop. That alone would be enough to lose that lawsuit. You're looking at people who you think are being offended, who are just like, yeah, ooh, yeah, Holden, go Holden. Idiots. Again, we talked about some of the stuff going on in this country. Well, Deadspin might be an outlet we don't have to worry about any further. These guys have gone over the edge. They tried to defame a 9-year-old little boy who was doing nothing at all but having fun at a football game. His favorite team, Kansas City Chiefs, even though they've got Mr. Pfizer there, the entire audience is doing a chop. The black athletes alongside him are doing a chop, and he doesn't know or doesn't think anything is wrong. Which, by the way, turns out, it seems, he's Native American himself. Now, I understand there's been some stuff posted about the tribe doesn't like it either, but the fact is, I'm a black guy. I can't offend myself. It's just not possible. Little Holden Armenta may be set for life. His parents may be looking at a Shohei Ohtani type lawsuit and take this Deadspin to the cleaners, which I would stand and applaud for. Take him down. Take him down.
What this boy did, he did absolutely nothing wrong. I didn't wake up this week thinking, you know what, I need one more piece of evidence of how deranged and delusional the leftist media is, but here we are, we have it, and yet they have taken it to another level. The problem is to this Karen J. Phillips. He doubled down upon getting the community notes when Elon Musk called him a racist and a deceptive liar. He still decided to put out another note on X saying, you know, even if you saw that his other side of his face was red, this is still just as bad, if not worse, because you're also now like somebody who says that they hate Hispanics, but then wears a sombrero on Cinco de Mayo. Aaron J. Phillips is nothing but a race-baiting hack. You already mentioned several of the examples of his lengthy track record, even last year, calling white people white supremacists because, in his words, they were watching an NBA game while blacks were being murdered in the street. This is exactly his MO. He is looking to incite people, and unfortunately, in this situation, it completely worked. We had another well-known idiot also chime in with Dan Le Batard saying that this completely goes against the NFL's vow to end racism. People were completely jumping on board.